Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. Time for a weekly catch-up. I'm sorry we're a day late. There's a reason for that. I've been ill. I'm alright now. I had COVID. How retro is that? COVID, I know it's like, how quaint. What a throwback. But I had COVID. So I've been ill. So when I did the Ask Me Anything, I masked the fact that I was really ill. I've been ill since pretty much Friday of last week. I was bad, but I'm fine now. More negative, more good. Back to it. It's not quite the boogeyman it used to be, is it? But so we've been up to a lot. We've done a lot, and we've got a lot of news as well. The thing that we did the gauntlet. Look at the size of this bloody thing. Look, oh come on, this is ridiculous. Now this is just me holding it together because it's not screwed together yet. But Jesus Christ, would you look at the size of it? I mean, this is just the back of the hand. This is the hand comes down to about here, and then the wrist. Oh my God, this thing is insanely huge. I'm absolutely loving the gauntlet. There's not a lot to do in each issue, there really isn't, but every issue has an impact, it really does. And even when we've got the naysayers going, you can spend a long time on those fingers. So, I don't care. With adding each one of those fingers, this thing is, come on, insane. We're building the thumb for like the next 2 months of building thumb, and that's when the kind of people that are tipping their nose to going, we got 2 months building thumb. Yeah, all right, I'm cool with that, man. Have you seen the size of the goddamn thumb? It's not like I'm building a thumb like this. Thumb we're building's like a snake. So it's great. I really enjoyed the gauntlet. News, right? So there's a lot to unpack. Firstly, Bond, right? So over at Agora, we know that the Bond cars are coming. They are coming next week. So we know the first one, at least the first one, I think it's just that one. The Aston Martin will be fully unveiled and I believe available for pre-order as of next week. So 7 days from now, you will be able to get your mitts on a subscription of the Bond car. Wow. It's going to be good. Now, by all accounts, they have completely redesigned it. It's not the one that Eagle Moss did, slightly rejigged. By all accounts, they have completely rescanned the car and it's a new model. How true that is, I don't know. But the difference between the No Time to Die DB5 and the Eagle Moss DB5 was the Eagle Moss DB5 was based on Goldfinger. Now, the Goldfinger DB5 did appear in the Daniel Craig movies. It appeared in Skyfall, where it was destroyed. It then appeared again in Spectre. Where Q rebuilt it. So he completely rebuilt it, including changing the interior. So the interior of the No Time to Die DB5 is completely different, as is something else. So the No Time to Die DB5 doesn't have an ejector seat. But as a nod to the original one, you can still see the panel where it ejected. So the ejection panel is still there, but the seat didn't eject. That was kind of the canon of the story. Whether or not they've added an ejector seat to Agoras, I don't know. But the No Time to Die DB5 did not have an ejector seat. It did have different bells and whistles though. So the original Goldfinger DB5 had machine guns, whereas the No Time to Die version had miniguns. So it had the rotated miniguns, whereas the original just had machine guns. This has got miniguns, a little bit sexier. It shot mines. That was the other thing as well. So the No Time to Die version shot mines out of the back. By all accounts, Agora does that. Other things they had, so they both had smoke screen. Again, the No Time to Die DB5 had a very different smoke screen to the one that Goldfinger had. So there's different widgets. Now, according to Agora, they've done a full scan and it's the most accurate scale that's ever been done. So that includes the interior as well. We'll see, won't we? So when this is released, we'll see and we'll know for sure. I've no doubt that probably existing tooling has been modified for this, but it is not the same model. So Agora's model is not the same as the Eagle Moss one. So it's not like, well, I've already got one. You ain't got this one. Plus, there is also the option through Agora where you can have the battle damaged one. Personally, if I was going to the DB5, and I'm not sure if I am yet, I want to see it. I'd go for the battle damage. I would, because I want one from that film. I want one that is from the film. It's unique to that movie. It's not just a DB5. DB5 is beautiful. Love a shiny DB5. But I think to have the one that's got the windows that have took the bullet hits and come on. I think that's a Bond DB5, But next week, so by all accounts, we'll know a lot more about this next week, including how much this is going to cost, what the pack's going to be, when it's going to ship, and blah, 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 blah. We'll know all of that next week. The other news, and this is good news for me, and this is probably good news for a lot of you. The last time we spoke, I told you that I was one of the poor unfortunate souls that got the email telling me, no Ecto for you. Well, turns out that wasn't true, because shortly after receiving that email, I've had confirmation it's shipped. So Ecto1 is back from the dead, and I am so bloody happy. So I've got the next 4 parts of Ecto1 coming now, because Fan Home are seriously becoming the daddy at the moment. We'll talk about that a bit more in a bit. They are dominating the part work thing at the moment. Because their portal is the best. So of all the companies that do this, the best customer portal for me is the Fan Home portal, because it's got everything you need in one place. You can go and check on your subscriptions. You can see when they're shipped. You can see what's coming next. But the best thing they do is you have downloadable versions of the magazines that they send you. So before they even turn up, you can download the versions of the magazines, or you can get a link to the videos where they're being built. So I've been able to see the build instructions already for Ecto1, what comes next. So I can see what I'm doing. And I am literally 6 parts away from finishing the car. So I know I don't have to touch the car in the next 4 that I'm doing. I'm just working on the frame. And then the last 2 that we do will be onto the car. Now, originally this model was supposed to be 141 pieces. Yeah, ours is going to finish at 140. So the question is, what is that one? What's the odd one? Because the last issue was supposed to have 3 parts in it, and it doesn't. It's got 2. Now, I can see what's coming next. So I know what the last 2 are. So the very last one is the ladder, the aerials, and the tube. Then the car's built. So whatever that last one was not something that goes on the car. So we know full well the car isn't being robbed of anything, which suggests one of 2 things. It was either one, the uplighting kit. Possibly it could have been they were classing that one as the case and the uplighter, which would sort of contradict things because America had to have that as a premium. So it's just that wasn't it. I still believe that what it was going to be is what they did with the DeLoreans. The very last issue of the DeLorean, the main run of the DeLorean, not the extended packs. The very last issue, there was nothing to build. What you got was a dust cover for the DeLorean and a very thick magazine that had all of the instructions up to that point in it. I reckon that's what Ecto1 was going to be. We'll never know, but we're not losing anything. So that one piece, we lose nothing. The car is built, and it means my car likely will be built in September. It's going to take about 2 weeks for the parts to get here. So August, Ecto1 will be rolling again, and I am so happy about that. And I'm happy for everyone whose models have started back up, be it the Enterprise D, be it the DeLorean, be it the Ecto1, the Eleanor. It's beautiful that a year later, here we are, and we're back to where we are. We haven't just got paperweights. We are going to get to finish these models that we poured a lot of time into. And for me, as I've said before, it's the end of a very strange period of our lives. We built that one during lockdown, and it means a lot to us, a huge lot to us. This channel wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that model. So it's going to be emotional, I think. I really do. The other news, back to Fan Home. As I said, they're becoming the daddy because they have reissued something. So originally you could get this from D'Agostini, but Fan Home have decided they're going to release the biggest hunk of junk in the whole galaxy in this one. The Millennium Falcon. Now that is a hell of a build. It has done the rounds before. So I believe Wayne built this on his channel. I know Mark Mods has done one. I don't know if he did videos for it or not, but if he did, it's worth checking out. But it has done the rounds before. So it was about 5 years ago, I think, this first launched. And it's a beautiful thing. It is a beast. It is absolutely humongous. But it is relaunched through Fan Home. Now, again, as I've said, now I know this isn't everybody's experience because I've seen people that have a very different experience to me. Fan Home have been great for me. If anything's broke or incorrect, they replace it like that. There's no messing around. And you can set your watch by them. If there's delays, they tell you there's delays. I like that. They're the opposite of what Eagle Moss were. Eagle Moss just would bury their head in the sand whenever there's a problem. Fan Home are up front with it. Okay, there's a problem with this, but we sorted it, and off they go. So it gives me a lot of confidence that this company is kind of growing in the size. I worry that maybe they're flooding the market a little bit, and you know, there is a limit to how many these do. Like, I would love to do that Millennium Falcon. I'm not going to be doing it, and the reason why is because I can't afford it. That's what it boils down to. I'm at capacity at the moment with what I want to do, and knowing what comes next, I can't commit to that one without cutting something off my list. And there's nothing off my list I want to do that I want to cut off. There just isn't. So that's kind of where I am with it, but it's a gorgeous model. I'd love to build it. So never say never. The beauty of Fan Home is it appears they're keeping the models on there. So it's not like with Hachette, once the run's ended, it either disappears completely or it ends up at Agora. It appears that Fan Home are just keeping their models going. So just because I can't build the Falcon now doesn't mean I can't build the Falcon. If you haven't built the Iron Man yet, it doesn't mean you can't, because it's on there. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because the now or you don't get to do it is a horrible thing for our community. I just do. You should be able to want to look, I'll see what it looks like when it's finished, and if I like it, I'll go get it. You should be able to do that. You should have that option, without worrying that, well, if you don't buy it now, you don't get it. You know, that shouldn't be the way it is. That shouldn't. It's a beautiful thing that Fan Home look like they're keeping. I don't know if they're going to for indefinitely. I'm sure everything's got a shelf life, but for the immediate, certainly, it looks like these models are just kind of there to stay, and you can go get them when you want, which is beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, it really is. There are free gifts with the Falcon, so if you subscribe to the Falcon, it's the hat, the mug. If you use PayPal, you get a T-shirt, I think, or you get a rucksack. If you're an early subscriber, you'll get the T-shirt. It's nice. Here are the gifts that you get. Nice stuff. I mean, again, I'd say pricing that up, that's probably about 60, 70 quid's worth of stuff, which is, again, taken into account. So there's 100 issues to the Millennium Falcon. And you get your first two, that'll cost you $1.99. So you get the first one for $1.99, the second one's free. So the first two are going to cost you $1.99 total. That's it. Then after that, each issue is $10.99, and you will get 5 issues a month. I think long gone are the days of us getting 4 issues a month, because it seems everyone is moving to a different model. Hachette are doing 6 every 6 weeks, or they're doing the packs. Agora do the packs of 10 or 12 or 6. And Fan Home, again, they've done this with the Gauntlet, where it's 5 at a time. Now they're doing it with the Falcon, which would suggest to me this is the future. This reduces their shipping costs. It makes sense. It makes sense. So I think long gone are the days of 4 a month. But it does mean, because you're getting 5 a month, this build does build faster. So if this goes live, I think mid-August, by 18th of August, I believe, which means that if you started it in August, it would be about 18, 19 months till you were done. So as opposed to 2.5 years, a lot of these models go for when they're 120, you'll be done in 18 months. So you'll be done pretty much May of 2026. So you'll be, the rest of this year, all of 2024, and then first half of 2025, you'll be done. So it's fairly quick. When it's like the Gauntlet will be finished by next Christmas, which is ridiculous. You think about it, we've only just started it. Next Christmas, it'll be done. Beautiful thing. There is, as always, upsell options. So for an extra $150 from issue 7, this is where it gets confusing. So from issue 7, you can get charged an extra $150 for a floor stand, table stand, or a wall mount. Now, this is what you get. Unless you want that table stand, I wouldn't go for the premium, because that wall mount is a TV bracket. That's what that is. That is genuinely what that is. That is a TV bracket. You could get a TV bracket for around about 20, 30 quid. As long as you measure up the holes, because it's just bolts that are going in there, you could get a TV stand for about 20 quid. You don't need to spend 100 quid on one. So I personally, I wouldn't go premium with it. I have already mentioned this to the guy that's making my Ecto case and said, there's another one. So we will be looking at doing a Millennium Falcon case as well. Speaking of the case, it's full steam ahead. So that will be ready by the time Ecto's finished, which is a beautiful thing. But yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I think that Millennium Falcon is absolutely gorgeous, and as iconic vehicles go, I mean, it's in its own league, isn't it? I mean, it's up there. There's the DeLorean, there's the Falcon. Iconic vehicles are just, and it's a beautiful thing. It's an absolutely stunning model. Yeah, I kind of wish I was doing it. I'll be honest, but I can. If I do that, I've got to choose something I'm not doing, and that would be the Lancaster bomber. And I am building a Lancaster bomber. There's no two ways about it. The Lancaster bomber's getting built. I'm not sacrificing anything for the bomber. I got that at the moment. I've got model envy all over the place. I want to build the VW camper. I want to build Robocop. Now I was coming to the end. I'm thinking, I actually want that Robocop. When they were just doing the legs and stuff, I was like, I ain't interested. And I was having Iron Man flashbacks. Now he's coming to the end. Now I'm like, man, I want that Robocop. And I get that a lot. The only one I didn't get that with was the Alien. The more I saw the Alien, the less I wanted it. When it was just the head they'd done, I'm thinking, I really want that Alien. The more that was done, the less I wanted it. And I've got that going on with the Batman as well, the giant Batman that's currently running in France. No, I've seen nothing of that so far that's made me go, ooh. It just a lot that's made me go, oh, not ooh, but ugh. So I won't be doing giant Batman unless, but again, I say that they might get to the end of it and go, God damn, look at that thing. So we'll see. They have made some changes. So a lot of people imported or found the trial run pieces that they did. They have made changes. So that weird thing of Batman's eyes lighting up white, that doesn't happen anymore. But we'll see, won't we? I think the cape is going to make or break that one. If the cape is, like I suspect it's going to be, a shower curtain, it breaks it. I think if you've got a creased sort of crap plastic cape, I think that's going to be a killer. But it's easy mod. I think when it comes to modding something, the mod people out there, modding a cape ain't going to be difficult, is it? So there's that. What else we did on the channel? We had the Ask Me Anything. So if you've not seen the Ask Me Anything, you can go over that. I'm sorry I didn't get to answer your questions. I've still got them in the bowl over here. I'm overwhelmed that you send so many through, and it's been great talking with all of you. And thank you for all your emails. And all your support. Honestly, it's great. And thank you for all the well wishes for my birthday. We had a great day, apart from the fact that I felt like I was dying for most of it. That was quite terrible. I was like, hey, Dad, do you want some cake? And I'm like, no. Do you want to blow the candles out? I'm like, probably best I don't, because I'm just going to exhale COVID everywhere. But it was a good day. I've got some beautiful things for the wall as well for my birthday. And one of them was from Alan and Corbin, who... if you didn't watch the Ask Me Anything, sent me this very lovely Warriors film cell collection. How nice is that? I don't ask for anything, so it was lovely to be sent that. And Ken, bless him, if you've been watching the Tumblr build, I mentioned a Batman figure I bought with money. A voucher I was given for phone the ambulance for a guy when I was 10 years old on my way to school disco, and I bought a Batman figure in '89 and I played the hell out of it. He found that figure, he sent me that figure, and I was very overwhelmed by it, and it's got pride of place on my desk, and it's going to watch over the entirety of the Tumblr build. I was overwhelmed by this. It's so strange when it comes to those toys from your childhood that you have some happy memories attached to. To see them is overwhelming sometimes. You think, my God, and you can remember how it felt and how it looked and how it moved, and it's strange. And we have become the collectors. I mean, this was the thing, I read a thing about this the other day. The kids just don't buy toys. The current people that are buying toys are us. We're the ones buying the toys. We are the ones that currently that Mattel and Hasbro are making the money out of. Because kids just aren't buying toys. Kids are playing Roblox. Kids are playing Fortnite. Kids are, that's what they do. The people that are buying toys are us. Because we're going back and getting those things. Because if you're Gen X like I am, or I mean, even millennials, we're going back. We're the first generation that had those collectible toys, like that genuinely were a collection. Now, I know you'll get boomers that will say things along the lines, well, we had Dinky and Matchbox. And yeah, you did, definitely. But you didn't have the need to collect them. It was like, you can have a collection, but it was like, no, you need every single one in this range. Otherwise, you suck. So we had that going on. So we are going back, and I see it all the time. And I've the one thing I've had to stop myself from doing is Masters of the Universe. That was my big thing when I was little, Masters of the Universe. And I can remember why and when it happened. And it was We went into Debenhams one day, me and my mum, and I would have been really young. I would have been about, I think, about 5 years old. And the toy department used to be downstairs. We went downstairs, and it must have been a promotion because all that was there was Masters of the Universe, and it was everywhere. And they had all of the ones sort of unboxed and out on a set, but they also had He-Man and Skeletor in the store. Now, I'd never seen or heard of this before. That was it. So that was me for the next at least 5 years. I was like, He-Man, and I was all over it. Now, the temptation to go back and buy all those Masters of the Universe figures I had is overwhelming. And I'm not talking about the reissue ones they did. They did ones where it's like retro. No, I want the original ones with the dodgy legs and stuff. And they're not wildly expensive, but I have to stop myself because one, where am I going to put them all? And two, I know I'll end up missing 2 or 3 and spending a disgusting amount of money on them. And unless there's a seller out there that's willing to write me a receipt for what I tell my wife it cost rather than what it actually costs, I can't buy them. So you got to be careful. But there are so many toys from my childhood I'd love to have again. But it's that strange thing where, I don't know, it brings back so many emotions. You see one, or it takes you back, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is. But we are the toy buyers. Something else has come up that I want to talk to you about now is I get asked quite a lot by companies to promote their products on my channel, and I say no because I've got a very strange ideology on this one. So my thing is, if it's not something that I would buy, if it's not something that fits in with my channel, if it's not something, then I'm not interested. I'm not going to do it. I'm not interested in doing this to make money, and I'm not doing this to get free stuff. So I'm not going to shill things to you who I just like seeing as people that we're part of a community. I'm not going to go, oh, but now buy this thing. I'm not interested in doing that. The weirdest things I've been asked to sort of promote was an extension lead. So they really wanted me. It was an extension lead and a multi-block of plugs. And I'm like, why? I'm like, what a weird thing. You ever seen an advert for an extension lead? I haven't, but that's what they really wanted. They're like, no, we'll give you 3 of them. And I'm like, I don't want one of them. And I certainly don't want one so badly that I'll lower myself to pimping it out to all of you. It's like, do you like electric? Do you like it when electric can go further? You need this thing. Yeah, I'm not doing that. It was that. There was a women's perfume. Okay. I mean, okay. My wife was pissed about that one because I could have had that. And I'm like, yeah, no, but how am I gonna? How does that work? How am I gonna? Come on. And then all kinds of things. So I've had everything from alcohol to light bulbs to all, and I'm like, no, I'm not interested. But I have always said, if there was genuinely something that I would buy, or I genuinely would make anyway, then yes, I would. And a company has contacted me and asked me if I'd review something for them, and I've said no initially. I said, not really, no. And they asked why not, and I said, because I'm not going to say it's great if it isn't. I said, it really is that simple. I said, so if you send it to me and I hate it, I'm going to say I hate it. They said they were fine with that. So I said, okay, well then send it along then. I said, we'll build it. But if I hate it, I'm going to say I hate it. I'm not being paid by anybody. No one can pay me to say something I don't want to say. No one puts words in my mouth. So I'm like, absolutely not. So I'm not being paid anything. They've offered to send me something. If I like it, I'll review it and put it. If I don't, and I've told them this, if I don't like it, I'm not putting it on the channel. It really is that simple. If I build it and hate it, it ain't going on the channel. Because I can't be bought. I just can't. But it's but if it genuinely is good, absolutely. And that's the way I think I've got to stay. Because as I've said before, I don't ever want this to become work. This is something I do for fun. So again, if it was, well, pay you to, nope, absolutely not. No way. Not going to happen. You have to do it by Wednesday. No, I'm not. No, never. But if it's, again, genuinely, if it was something like, if someone was like, hey, do you want to build the Falcon? Yeah. So that's different. But no, when it comes to sell these extension leads for us, no, I'm just not interested. You do get weird things. I mean, once you're kind of out there, you do get weird requests come through, and I get an abundance of them. You just think, no, that's just mousetraps. Yeah. Will you review mousetraps for us? I'm like, how? Do you want me to kill a mouse on the channel? No, that's just bloody weird. But there must be people out there do it. There's got to be, but no, not for me. I ain't saying there's anything wrong with it, but come on. Unless you want a mousetrap. If you want mousetraps, we can. I almost did it to take the piss. I thought, yeah, we'll get one and we'll just really mock the hell out of it. But no, not for me. What have you been watching? Well, when I was ill, I wanted to binge something because I was just lying on the sofa feeling sorry for myself for a few days. I thought I need something to just binge through. So I watched a show people have raved about, but I hadn't got round to watching. I watched From. This is From. Now, unless at some point they explain why they've called it From, and it's actually a very clever title, that's a terrible title for a show. That's all right. Have you seen From? From what? From. Have you seen From? It's an awful title for a show. Unless, again, at some point that you go, oh, that's why it's called From. Because it is a mystery show. And the show I've got to liken it to is Lost. And I would say it's Lost meets Walking Dead. So if you like The Walking Dead and you like Lost, you're going to love this show. You just are. Now, I did like The Lost and The Walking Dead. I hate the end of Lost, like everybody. Hate the end of The Walking Dead, like everybody. So I can kind of see where this is going. But it's a fairly unique concept without being a unique concept because, again, it seems like it's borrowed from a lot of other things. But it does what it does very well. It's by the Russos, who directed Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. And it's not bad. I've actually really enjoyed the first season of it. I just started the second season. But the premise is quite simple. So random people will drive along and they will come to a fallen tree in the road. They go around the fallen tree and they end up in a town. Once they're in, they can't get out. So it doesn't matter how many times you drive around this town, you will just keep coming back to the town. So you're trapped. So that's not unique. We've seen that done in other shows and movies before. But once you're in, you're in. There's no getting out. So everybody in the town arrived in the same way, but they weren't all on the same road. That's what makes it unique. So some people were driving through Texas and stumbled on the tree and ended up in the town. Some people driving through New York, stumbled across the tree and ended up in the town. So it's a very weird kind of thing going on. So the town itself is kind of haggard as it would be because it's old as hell. Nothing's coming in, nothing's going out. But the main problem the town has is at night time, things descend on the town from the forest and attack the forest. And these things look like people from the 1940s, 1950s. They kind of got old-timey outfits on, like milkmen and things like that. And they look quite nice, and they'll come and talk to you. And the second you open a window, they're on you, like Salem's Lot. Like, in they go. And they do all kinds of horrible things. They'll look like they're your grandmother, or they'll look like you're a past love or something, and they'll try and manipulate you into opening the windows and letting them in. And it's good. It's a good show. It's gory. It's adult. So I mean, there's a lot of obscenity in it, and there's a lot of kind of blood and gore in it. But it's I've enjoyed it so far. I just hope it goes somewhere. See, my mum put me onto this. She's watched season 1 and 2, and I've said to her, "Is this going anywhere?" Because if this just peters out, I'm going to be so pissed. But she assures me it is, so we're sticking with it, and I have been enjoying it so far. So I would recommend it. I would recommend From, if you haven't seen it yet. We did watch a movie. For the life of me, I can't remember what movie. We watched Lilo and Stitch. So my kids had never seen Lilo and Stitch, which I was disgusted at myself for letting happen. I'm like, how haven't the kids seen Lilo and Stitch? So we sat down and watched Lilo and Stitch, which is a gorgeous movie. It's one of those Disney movies that came out in a period of kind of sucky Disney movies. Now, I know people, there's generations ago, those were the best ones. They weren't, right? So it was like Treasure Planet, Atlantis, Brother Bear, On the Range, just garbage Disney movies. Just really, no one's raving about those movies. I mean, I know some people really, really rave about Treasure Planet, Atlantis, but they are few and far between. But Lilo and Stitch was a high point, a very dark point of Disney, and it's a fantastic movie. And it is being turned into a live adaptation. Why do they keep doing this? I don't know, because they've had very minor success with the live adaptations. The funniest one for me that everyone keeps saying about the live adaptation was The Lion King. When everyone said, "Oh, they've done a live adaptation of The Lion King," no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Believe it or not, those lions ain't talking. That's just a different style of animation. That is not a live action Lion King. There are no lions used in that movie. It's just a different style. It's still an animated film. It's just a more realistic looking animation. That made me laugh so much. Oh, it's a live action version of The Lion King. Nope. It's all still animation, just a different style of animation. They're also, I'm not going to get into this, but I will address it very quickly. Excuse me. The set pictures were released of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but it's not called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs anymore. It's just called Snow White. And they've said that they've replaced the Seven Dwarfs with 7 magical creatures. The 7 magical creatures just look like hipsters. They don't look like... It's like, okay. And it's caused quite the uproar. Now I have friends that are dwarfs, and I've had this conversation with them, and they're not happy about this. They're really not. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all, because I appreciate that, yes, there should definitely be more roles in mainstream films for dwarf actors. There just should be. But it now seems like, oh, we can't. But you can cast Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa, which is like, well, how's that okay? Very strange, but it's what Disney's chose to do. And I mean, I don't know why. It makes no sense to me. It just doesn't, but that's what they've chose to do. I get that they want to put different spins on things, but I mean, they've had too many of these bomb. I mean, they've had successes. Little Mermaid, we watched Little Mermaid and really enjoyed it, and I thought Little Mermaid was great. If you haven't seen that one, give it a go. Pinocchio was weird. I didn't think much of Cinderella. They're all right. Beauty and the Beast was okay. I don't know, but it seems like they've decided this is what we're doing. We are making live action versions of everything, and it's like, well, why? Why? Who's asking for these? No one. I mean, the originals are out there; they exist. So I don't understand the necessity to keep making these Disney classics into live actions. I find it very strange. I just do. I find it very odd. Who's asking for it? Who's demanding for a live action version of this? I don't know. It's very bizarre. It's very, very strange. What have we got coming up on the channel? So Titanic has shipped. Titanic is on the way. The Infinity Gauntlet has shipped. Ecto1 has shipped. So these are all things that are on their way to us. We also, I got a load of Amazon vouchers for my birthday. So I have bought stuff that's coming. So I do have the 6th Row Life Book Nook coming to the channel, and that is the garden one. Now, I am massively conflicted on this book nook. I really am, but I'm a completist, so I need to complete the set. But we'll talk about that when it's here. You never know. I might love it, but I've got issues with it. And I'll explain what those are. But I think it'll look beautiful. But I have got a slight problem with it. Bargains to look out for at the moment. So there are some very nice Roker offers on Amazon. So you can go get the Victorian Lantern right now for $18.99, which is an absolute steal. You can get some of the Row Life mini museum rooms for around about 20 quid. So you can get Alice's Tea Room at the moment for $19.99, which is an absolute bargain. You can get the pinball machine. The pinball machine keeps coming down. So at the moment you can get the pinball machine for 130 quid, which is down from 160. I am holding my nerve. At some point, that pinball machine is going to go under 100 quid and I'm going to get one. But I'm holding my nerve. But there's some great ones at the moment, so go check those out. That's about all from me. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. We are on, I think, 1,940 subscribers, which is madness. We're really close to 2,000 and we'd love to get there. So if you haven't yet, please hit like and subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of our little community. If you've got any questions for us, you can send them to billmantheboys@outlook.com. If, as I said before, you want a picture shown on the channel, you want a hello to someone or a shout out or a happy birthday, whatever it is, message us. We're happy to do that. I am collecting a lot of pictures at the moment of your work, and I've got some fantastic ones to show you. I'm waiting until we got enough of them, and we're going to do a your work video where we're going to show all the wonderful modifications and scratch builds and whatnot that have been sent, because there are some absolute beauts out there. You know you are. I sent them to me, and they will be coming on the channel soon. That's about all from me. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and I mean that. And I will see you very, very soon for more fun and games from Building with the Boys. I'll catch you then.